children, today I am here to teach you chapter 16 in your textbook, that's ratios. So what are ratios? Ratios are fractions. So we'll see what are the things that you have to learn in this section. Look at this one. The height of building A is 32 meters. Height of building B is 24 meters. When you want to compare the two heights, we can divide. So when you divide height of A by height of B, what you get? This is (32 meters) over height of B is 24 meters. Now both are in meters. So you can cross out these units. So when you simplify this, what you get? 8 times 3, 24. 8 times 4, 32. So 4 over 3. This is a fraction, 4 over 3. So ratio between two heights, I can write 4 over 3 as a fraction, or also I can convert this to a ratio form. So I can write 4 to 3 ratio. So 4 over 3 fraction is the same as 4 to 3 ratio. So if I ask what's the ratio between A and B, A first and B second, so you can write 4 to 3. What's the ratio between B and A? B first. So then this becomes 3 to 4. Other way around. Because the fraction becomes 3 over 4, the ratio is 3 to 4. The terms of the ratio should be in the same units. In this case, both are in meters. And ratio is free from units. So when you write a ratio, we don't write the units because we have to assume that both units are the same. Look at this one. There are 60 green apples and 40 red apples. Write down the ratio between apples in the simplest form. How many green ones are there? 60. How many red apples are there? 40. So you can write the ratio as 60 to 40. Divide this by 10. 6 to 4. Divide this by 2 again. 3 and 2. So what's the ratio? You get 3 to 2. This can be written as the first term in the numerator. So this is the numerator. I can write 3 divided by 2 as a fraction, 3 over 2. First term in the numerator and the second term in the denominator. Write 100 centimeter and 10 meters as a ratio. Look at the units. One in centimeters and other one is in meters. Can you take the ratio at once? You can't because you have to convert to the same unit. So how many centimeters for 10 meters? 10 meters means you multiply by 100 and you can get 1000 centimeters. So now you can take the ratio. So 100 centimeters to 1000 centimeters. Same units now, you don't need to write down the units. Divide by 100, you get 1 here. Divide by 100, 10. So 1 to 10 ratio. The highest common factor is 1 when you take the simplest form. So 1 and 10 highest common factor is 1. Write these ratios in fractions. This is the first value, first term. And this is the second one. How can you write as a fraction? 3 over 4. 5 to 7, 5 over 7. 8 to 11, 8 over 11. 10 over 13, you can write 10 divided by 13. 9 to 20 means 9 over 20. Write these fractions in ratio. Other way around now. Fraction is given, you are asked to find out the ratio. So how you do it? Numerator first and then the ratio sign, the colon and the denominator. 1 to 2 ratio. 3 over 7 you can write 3 to 7. 6 to 17. 6 over 17, 6 to 17. 8 over 15, I can write 8 to 15. 9 over 25, I can write 9 to 25. Write these ratios in the simplest form. So what we can do? If you are dividing by 10 one side, you have to do the same thing for the other side when you want to simplify. So 10 to 30, I can divide both by 10. So 1, 2, 3. 8 and 14, I can divide this by 2. 4 and 7. 9 to 15, I can divide this by 3. 3 to 5. 12 and 18, I can divide by 6. 2 to 3. 4 to 20, I can divide this by 4. 1, 2, 5. So these are the simplest form. Write equivalent ratios multiplying by 2 and 3. So when you multiply one side, you can do the same thing for the other side. So 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 5, 10. Now do for multiplying by 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 5, 15. 3 to 7 multiplied by 2, 6. 2 times 7, 14. Multiplied by 3, 9. 9 times 3 times 7, 21. 8 to 3 multiplied by 2, 16 to 6. Multiplied by 3, 24 to 9. This one multiplied by 2. 2 times 9, 18. 2 times 11, 22. Multiplied by 3, you get 27 to 33. This one multiplied by 2, you get 26 and 10. Multiplied by 3, 39. 3 times 5, 15. Write these ratios in the simplest form. 6 to 4 to 8. So 2 is the common factor. I can divide the whole thing by 2. You get 3 here. 4 divided by 2. 2. 8 divided by 2. That's 4. 9, 15, 12. You can divide by 3. So you get 3 here. 15 divided by 3. 5. 12 divided by 3, you get 4. 10, 4, 6 divided by 2, you get 5, 2 and 3. 8, 12, 16, you can divide by 4. You get 2, 3 and 4. 21, 28, 35, you can divide by 7. 7 times 3, 7 times 4, 7 times 5. 42, 35, 28. I can divide this by 7. 6, 5, and 4. So those are the simplest form. Fill in the blanks. 3 to 17. So these are equivalent ratios. 3 becomes 15 multiplied by 5. So you do the same thing here. 17 multiplied by 5, 35. 5 times 1, 5 plus 3, 8. 85. Here to here. 36 becomes 9 divided by 4. So 20 divided by 4, you get 5. Here to here. 7 becomes 14. So what's that? Multiply by 2. So the other way around, you have to divide by 2. 22 divided by 2, you get 11. This one, how can we figure out? Here to here. What's the number? Multiply by 3. So multiply by 3, 13, you get 39. Look at this problem. The ratio between price of a coconut and a jackfruit is 3 to 2 ratio. If the price of coconut is 48, find the price of a jackfruit. So what's the ratio coconut to jackfruit? 3 to 2. What's the price? Price of a coconut is 48. You need to find out this value. How we get that value? Look at carefully. 3 becomes 48. How? Multiply by 16. 16 times 3 is 48. So you have to multiply this by 16. So the price of a jackfruit is 2 times 16. You get 32 rupees. Again check. 48 divided by 3 is what? 16. That means you multiply by 16 to get 48. So you multiply 2 times 16. That's 32 rupees. Ratio between price of a pen and a book is 1 to 3. So we can write pen and book 1 to 3 ratio. If price of a pen is 20 rupees, you are asked to find out the price of a book. This value. So how you get that? 1 becomes 20. Multiplied by 20. So what's the price of a book? 3 times 20. 60 rupees. Ratio between marbles in the 3 containers A, B, C, 3 to 7 to 5. If number of marbles in A is 15, find the number of marbles in B and C. We need to find out these two values. So how you do that? 3 becomes 15. So that means multiply by 5. So you have to multiply by 5. So what's the number of marbles in B? 7 times 5. That's 35 marbles. This one 5 times 7. Not 5 times 7. This is 5 and you need to multiply by 5. 5 times 5. You get 25 marbles in container C. Look at this problem. There are 45 students in a class and 21 of them are girls. Find the number of boys in the class. So how you find out number of boys? You subtract 45 minus number of girls. What's the value? 24. 24 plus 21, you get 45. So number of boys, 24. Ratio between girls to boys. So how many girls are there? 21. How many boys? 24. This is the ratio. So write this one in simplest form. You can divide by 3. So when you divide this by 3, you get 7 and 8. 7 to 8 ratio. Ratio of girls to total number of students. So girls are 21 girls. So 21 and the total is 45. So what's the ratio? You can divide this by 3. You get 7. Divide this by 3. You get 3 times 1, 3, 5. So 7 to 15 is the ratio between girls to total number. So next one, ratio of boys to total number. So how many boys are there? 24. Total 45. So you can divide this by 3. 3 times 8. 3 times 15. So 8 to 15. Amal has 750 rupees and Kamal has 900 rupees. Find the ratio of money that Amal and Kamal have. So what's the ratio? Amal has 750. Kamal has 900. So what's the ratio? You can divide by 10, 75 and 90. Then you can divide by 5. 5 times 1, 5. So 25, that's 5. Then 5 times this one, 5 times 1, 5. For 40, that's 8. You can simplify further. Divide this by 3. 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 6, so 5 to 6 ratio. So what's the total amount? Total amount is, you need to add these two. Total amount is 750 plus 900. You get 5. 9 plus 7, 16,650 is the total amount. The amount Amal has as a fraction. So Amal has 750 out of 1,650. That's the fraction. So divide by 10 and divide by 15. 15 times 5. 15 times 1 and for 15 another 1. So 5 over 11 is the amount of Amal has as a fraction. The amount Kamal has as a fraction, you can either use fraction, subtraction, 11 minus 5, that's 6 over 11. Or what's the other way you can do? You can use the amount 900 over 1,650. So when you divide, you get 11 times. When you divide by 15, you get 11. 15 times 6, 90. So 6 over 11 is the fraction. The amount of Kamal has as a fraction. So they are asking what is the fraction of money Amal has and what is the fraction of money that Kamal has. Now we'll look at how we can divide any value to a given ratio. Find the amount received for each when 1,200 divide in between PQR to the ratio 2 to 3 to 7. So we can find out the total number of parts. When you take total number of parts, that's 2 plus 3 plus 7. What's the total? 12. 12 parts are there. So what's the fraction of P? 2 parts out of 12. So what's the amount received by P? 1200 into this fraction, 2 over 12. 12 times 100, 100 times 2, that's 200 rupees. That's the amount received by P. Now we'll look at the fraction for Q, 3 over 12. So fraction of Q is 3 over 12. So what's the amount received by Q? 3 over 12 times 1200. 12 times 100, 100 times 3, 300 rupees. Now what's the fraction of R? Fraction of R, 7 parts out of 12. So 7 parts out of 12. What's the amount then? 7 over 12 into 1200. You get 700. Divide 240 meter length of cloth between ABC to the given ratio 3 to 2 to 7. So what's the total number of parts? 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 7, 12. So altogether 12 parts are there. So what's the length for A? As a fraction, this is 3 over 12. 3 over 12 into the total length 240. 12 times 2, 24. 3 times 20, that's 60. So this is in meters. So the length for A is 60 meters. What about length for B? 2 parts out of 12 into 240. So you get 20 times 2, that's 40 meters. And length for C, what's the fraction? 7 over 12. 7 over 12 into, what's the total length? Total length is 240. So 12 times 20, you get 140 meter length. Look at this question. In a fish tank, ratio between goldfish and guppy is 7 to 5. If 32 more goldfish added to the tank, the total number of fish is 200. First part, number of fish in the tank before adding. So number of fish, 200 minus 32. So when you subtract, what you get? 8 plus 2, 10, 1 remaining, 4, 6. 1 remaining, so 168. Now we'll find out the second part, number of goldfish before adding. So we'll first find the fraction of goldfish. Total parts 12. Out of that, 7 parts for goldfish. So 7 out of 12 is the fraction. So how you find out the number of goldfish? So you can do 7 over 12 into 168. 12 times 1, 12 times 1, 12. For 48, that's 4. What's the value? 7 times 4, 28. 7 times 1, 7 plus 2, 9. So 98 is the number of goldfish. Then the next part. New ratio between goldfish and guppy. For that, we'll first find number of guppy. So how you find number of guppy? What's the ratio? 5. The fraction is 5 over 12. 5 over 12 into 168, or you can do the subtraction. 168 minus 98. 168 minus 98. 0 and then you get 7. So 168 68 minus 98, that's 70. That's number of guppy. Total number of goldfish after adding previously 98 and added 32. 98 plus 32. 130. So what's the new ratio? Number of goldfish is 130. Number of guppy 70. So the new ratio is 13 to 7. Now we'll see how we can divide the profit. Now look at this example. Amal invested 60,000 rupees and Kamal invested 40,000 rupees and started a business on January 1st. Total profit at the end of the year was 55,000 rupees. What's the ratio between invested amount? So it depends on because the ratio becomes the invested amount. So Amal invested 60,000 rupees. Kamal invested 40,000 rupees. When you simplify, what's the ratio between invested amount? You can divide by 10,000. So 6 to 4. Again divide by 2. 3 to 2 ratio. Fraction of profit that Amal received. So Amal is 3 out of 5. So what's the fraction? 3 over 5. Profit that Amal received. So 3 over 5 into the total profit. The total profit was 55,000 rupees. So multiply by 55,000. Divide by 5, you get 11 here, 11,000. Multiply by 3, you get 33,000 rupees. That's for Amal. Now we'll look at fraction of profit Kamal received. What's the fraction? 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 is Kamal's fraction. Profit that Kamal received, that's into 55,000. 5 times here 11,000. So you get 22,000 rupees. Now we'll look at divide profit according to the time. Earlier, both invested the amount at the same time. But in this example, people invested money in different times. Asiri started a business on January 1st investing 80,000 and Hasita joined on April 1st investing 60,000. Find the ratio of profit that should be divided according to the amount invested and time. So here we have to consider not only the invested amount, time as well. So when you look at the first part, so how many months Asiri invested for? 12 months. For the end of this year, starting from January, there are 12 months. But Hasita started in April. April to December, how many months? You get 9 months. So what's the amount here? Invested 80,000 and the number of months is 12 there. Here Hasita invested 60,000 rupees for 9 months. So you divide by 9. Now divide both sides by 10,000. you get 8 times 12, and here 10,000, you get 6 times 9. Then divide both sides by 6. 6 times 1, 6 times 2. This 6 get cancelled out. So what's the value? 8 times 2, 16, and here 9. 16 to 9. So the ratio of profit that should be divided is 16 to 9. Now the second part, it says if the profit is 75,000 at the end of the year, find the profit for R series. So what's the fraction for R series? 16 out of 25. So first we'll find out the fraction. That's 16 out of 25, and the profit was, what's the total profit? 75,000. So we multiply by 75,000 to get the profit for R series. 25 times 3. Multiply by 3 first. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. And 3 zeros. So 48,000 is the profit for R series. How we find out the profit for Hasita? So what's the fraction? Fraction is 9 over 25. So 9 over 25 into 75,000. Or you can just subtract 48,000 from 75,000. That's also possible. Nine times 3, 27,000 rupees. So when you add these two, you need to get 75,000. Check it. 8 plus 7, 15. And you get 75,000. So that's correct. Look at this question. Sunil invested 60,000 on January 1st. Nimal invested 80,000 on April 1st. And Lal invested 90,000 on July 1st in a business. If the total profit gain was 55,000 at the end of the year, find the ratio between profits. So you have to consider invested amount as well as time. Sunil invested 60,000 rupees. Nimal 80,000 rupees. And Lal 90,000 rupees. Now we'll consider time. January 1st means 12 months for Sunil. Then Nimal, April 1st. So April 1st means how many months? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 9 months. Then the other one, person, Lal, started in July. So July, August, September, October, November, December. How many months? 6 months. Now simplify. You can divide this by 10,000. You get 6 times 12, 8 times 9, 9 times 6. Divide this by 3. You get 24. Here also you get 24. And this one, divide by 3. 3 times 6, 18. Now you can divide the whole thing by 6. 4, 4, 3. So that's the ratio. Now we need to find the amount received by each of them at the end of the year. So 4 to 3. Sunil, Nimal and Lal. So we'll check the profit for Sunil. Now what's the fraction for Sunil? 4 out of. 11 parts. Altogether 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 3, 11. 4 out of 11 into 55,000. 4 out of 11 into 55,000. That's the profit for Sunil. 11 times 5. 4 times 5, you get 20,000 rupees. Now profit for Nimal. What's the ratio? Again 4, same amount. So 4 over 11 into 55,000, you get the same answer. Then the profit for Lal is, you can add these two and subtract from 55,000, or we can take the ratio. Ratio is 3 to total is 11. So as a fraction, 3 over 11 into 55,000. So what's the value? You get 15,000 rupees. So you can check by adding all these three, you need to get 55,000. So 40 plus 15, 55. So 55,000 rupees. Below table gives details about a business started by Anil, Ranil and Sunil. So the invested amount is given, time and time in months and amount into time. Fill in the blanks. How you find out the time? January 1st. So 12 months. So amount is 40,000 into 12. 40. 12 times 4. 48. And here, how many zeros? 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 480,000. May 1st. So how many months? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 8 months. So 8 times 60,000. 48 and 4 zeros. 480,000. July 1st. How many months? You have to consider July as well. July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 6 months. So 80,000 into 6. You get same amount. 480,000 rupees. Then find the ratio of profit that should be divided among them. So same amount. So what's the ratio? 1 to 1 to 1. So Anil is 800,000. This person is also 480,000. And Sunil also 480,000. So when you divide by this, you get 1 to 1 to 1 ratio. So what is the profit of Anil? The total profit is 90,000. So 90,000 if the profit at the end of the year, find the profit received by each of them. So 90,000 you have to divide equally. So what's the profit for Anil? 90,000 divided by 3. $30,000. So what's the profit of Ranil? Same thing, 1/3 of 90,000. So what's the answer? 30,000. And profit for Sunil is also 30,000 rupees. Combining several ratios. Look at this question. and amount divided between A to B is 5:4 ratio. And between B and C, 4:3 ratio. Now you are asked to find out the combined ratio for A, B and C. So how you do? A to B is given 5:4. B to C is given 4:3. Now this is the common one. So both the values are 4. So that means you can write down the ratio as this is 4, this is 5 here, and this is 3. So what's the ratio between A to B to C? That's 5 to 4 to 3. Find the ratio P to Q to R. If the ratio between P and Q is 5:2. P and Q, 5:2. Ratio between Q and R, 4:3. Now this is the common one. Now you have to make it to the same value. So common value of Q. What's the common value? That means 4. You have to convert this to 4. So we take the 4. 4 to 3 is there. How do you get 4 from 2 here? Multiply by 2. So you have to do the same thing here. 5 times 2, you get 10. So what's the ratio between P to Q to R? 10 to 4 to 3. This one, X to Y to Z. X to Y is 7 to 6. Y to Z, 4 to 7. Now you need to find out the lowest common multiple of 6 and 4. What's the value? 12. So you need to convert this to 12. Now this one, 6 to 12, that means multiply by 2. So multiply 7 by 2, you get 14. This one, 4 to 12, multiplied by 3. So 7 times 3, 21. So what's the new ratio? 14 to 12 to 21. So you can't simplify. So that's the ratio. Look at this question. The ratio between novels and short story books is 7 to 4. Novels to short story books. The ratio between short story books to fiction is 3 to 5. Find the ratio between all 3 types of books. So this is the value here, 4, 3. What's the lowest common multiple of 4 and 3? That's 12. So you need to convert to 12. 4 to 12 multiplied by 3. 3 times 7, 21. Here 3 to 12, that means multiplied by 4. 3 times 4, 12. So multiply this by 4. 4 times 5, you get 20. So I can write this multiplied by 4. This multiplied by 3. So how can we find out number of novels? Now the new ratio is 21 to 12, 20. So what's the total? What's the total number of parts? Add all these values. 2 plus 1, 3. 2, 3, 5. 53. Total. As a fraction. Novels 21 out of 53. So 21 out of 53. And how many books are there? It says total number of books is 1060. You have to find out each type of books. 1060. So 1060. Here you can see 53 times 2 here, that's 20. So 20 times 21. Put put 0, 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4. So 420 novels are there. Number of short story books. So what's the ratio? Short story books, 12 out of 53. 12 out of 53 in 2060. This is 20. 240 short story books, and how many fictions? That's 20 out of 53 in 2060. This is 20 times 20, 400 books. Now we'll check whether this is correct. Add all three. You get 0, 6, and here 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 1060. So here number of novels 420, number of short story books 240, and number of fictions 400. Now we'll look at review exercise. Write 3 equivalent ratios for each ratio given below. You can multiply by 2. 4 to 10. Multiply by 3. 6 to 15. Multiply by 4. 8 to 20. So 4 times 2, 8, 8 to 20. So that's the ratio for equivalent ratios for 2 to 5. 3 to 4, you can multiply by 2. 6 to 8. Multiply by 3. 9 to 12. Multiply by 4. 12 to 16. 9 to 6 to 3. Multiply by 2. 18 to 12 to 6. Multiply by 3. 27. 18. 9. Multiply by 4. 36. 24. 12. This one multiplied by 2. 18. 4. 8. Multiplied by 3. 24. 6. 12. Multiplied by 4. 32. 8. And 16. So those are the equivalent ratios. Write each of the ratios given below in the simplest form. So see what's the lowest common. See the common factor. For 16 and 15 you can divide by 3. 2 to 5. That's the lowest form or simplest form. 8 to 20 you can divide by 4. 2 to 5. 4 times 5, 20. 30, 18, 36 you can divide by 6. 5, 3, 6. That's the lowest ratio or simplest form. 40, 16, 64. You can first divide by 4. 10, 4. And 4 times 1, 4. For 24, that's 6. Divide by 2. 5 to 2 to 8. So what's the ratio of 5 to 2 to 8? Question number 3. Join the ratio in column A to the equivalent ratio in column B. 4 to 3 multiplied by, here 4, look at this one, 8 to 6 multiplied by 2. 8 with 6. So this is equal. 10 to 15 you can simplify. Divide by 5. 2 to 3. 6 to 5, you can multiply by 3. 18 to 50. 2 to 7 to 9, multiplied by what? 3? So 5. Here, look at this one, 10 here. So multiply by 5, you are getting this. And multiplied by, not multiplied, divide by 4. You get 9 here, divide by 4, 3. So that's this value. Rewrite and fill in the blanks. 3 to 4. 4 becomes 8, multiplied by 2. So 3 times 2, 6. 8 becomes 16, multiplied by 2. So 5 times 2, 10. 1, 2, 3 becomes here 12, multiplied by 4. 4 times 1, 4. 6 becomes 48, multiplied by 8. So what you do here? You divide by 8. 32 divided by 8, that's 4. 25 becomes 5 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5, that's 3. 12 multiplied by 3, 36. So the reverse way. 15 divided by 3, that's 5. 36 divided by 3 is 12. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Question number 5. The ratio of the price of a pencil to that of a book is 3 to 4. If the price of a pencil is 15, find the price of a book. So what's the ratio? Pencil to book. 3 to 4. So the price of the pencil is 15. So pencil is 15. You need to find out the price of the book. So 3 becomes 15 multiplied by 5. So 4 times 5, that's 20. So price of the book. The price of the book, 3 times 5, 15. 4 times 5, that's 20 rupees. The ratio of the mass of Pratapa to that of Nimdiya is 9 to 11. If Nimdiya's mass is 55, find Pratapa's mass. So what's the ratio Pratapa and Nimdiya? What's the mass ratio? Pratapa to Nimdiya. What's the ratio? 9 to 11. And the mass for Nimdiya is 55. This is 55. And you are asked to find out Pratapa's mass. So how you do? 11 becomes 55 multiplied by 5. So 9 times 5, 45. So you can write Pratapa's mass is 11 times 5, 55. 9 times 5, that's 45 kilos. Question number 7. Saman, Suresh and Kasim are friends. The ratio of their heights is 5 to 4 to 6. If Saman's height is 125, calculate the heights of Suresh and Kasim. So who are the 3 friends? Saman, Suresh and Kasim. 5 2, 4 2, 6. Saman's height is 125. You are asked to find out Kasim's height and Suresh's height. So these two we need to find. So how will you get 125 from 5? Multiply by 25. So you need to multiply this by 25. Then you have to do the same thing. So what's the Suresh's height? Suresh's height is equal to 4 times 25. That's 100 centimeters. So what's Kasim's height? Kasim's height is 6 into 25. 150 centimeters. Example 1. To make a mixed fruit drink, mango juice, pineapple juice and orange juice are mixed in the ratio 2 to 3 to 1. Find the fraction of each type of juice in the drink. So if you take mango, pineapple and orange, what's the ratio? 2 to 3 to 1. So when you take the total parts, 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 1, 6 parts are there. 2 plus 3 plus 1. 6 parts are there. So as a fraction of mango, 2 out of 6. Pineapple, 3 out of 6. And orange, 1 out of 6. So find the fraction of each type of juice in the drink. 2 out of 6, 3 out of 6, 1 out of 6. You can simplify to 1/3 as well. Equivalent fractions. This is half. 3 over 6 means half. And this is 1 over 6. Exercise 16.1. Sudesh and Rahim shared some money. Sudesh received 450 while Rahim received 500 rupees. Write in the simplest form the ratio in which the money was divided between them. So Sudesh and Rahim. Sudesh received 450 rupees and Rahim received 500. So what's the ratio in the lowest form? You can divide by 10, that's 45 and 50. Then divide by 5, 9 and 10. So what's the ratio? Lowest form, the simplest form is 9 to 10. Then second part, write the amount Sudesh received as a fraction of the amount Rahim received. Express this in its simplest form. Sudesh received as a fraction of the amount Rahim received. So what's the amount Sudesh received? 450. Rahim received 500. Now simplify, divide by 5, you get 9 over 10 as a fraction. What fraction of the total amount did Rahim receive? So when you take Rahim, Rahim 10 parts out of 19. So what fraction of the total amount did Rahim receive? So 10 parts out of 19. So 10 over 19 is the fraction. Question number 2. A stock of dry rations is distributed among the 3 families A, B and C in the ratio 4:5:3. Express separately the quantity of dry rations received by each family as a fraction of the whole stock. A to B to C. This is 4:5:3. How many total parts? 9 plus 3, 12. So as a fraction, this is 4/12, 5/12 and 3/12. So they ask express separately the quantity of dry rations received by each family as a fraction of the whole stock. Then what fraction of the amount that B received? B received is the amount that A received. So what's the fraction of the amount that B received is the amount that A received. So B received this much, 5 parts, A received 4 parts. So what's the fraction? 5/4. 5 parts, here 4 parts. So the denominator is the same, so it gets cancelled out. So the ratio, the fraction of the amount B received with the amount of A received is 5/4. What is the fraction of the amount that C received is the amount that A received? So this and this, 3/4. Question number 3. In a running event, Amashi ran 70 meters in the time that it took Gayanis to run 40 meters. Write the ratio of the distance run by Amashi to that run by Gayani in its simplest form. So what's the distance run by Amashi? That's 70 meters. Gayani, 40 meters. So divide by 10, you get 7:4 ratio. That's the simplest form. Using the above ratio, write as a fraction the distance run by Gayani in the time that Amashi runs 1 meter. Using the above ratio, write as a fraction the distance run by Gayani in the time that Amashi runs 1 meter. So which one is Amashi? The first. So if this is 1, they are asking what's this ratio? How you get 1 from 7? Divide by 7. So 4/7. So that's the Gayani, the distance run by Gayani in the time that Amashi runs 1 meter. Write as a fraction the distance run by Amashi in the time that Gayani runs 1 meter. Now they are asking, Gayani runs 1 meter means if this is 1, what is this fraction? How you get 1 from 4? Divide by 4. So 7/4. And fourth part, express the distance run by Amashi as a fraction of the total distance run by the 2 of them. So what's the fraction? This is the ratio, 7:4. Total parts 11. So as a fraction, the distance run by Amashi is 7/11. And fifth one, express the distance run by Gayani as a fraction of the total distance run by the 2 of them. That's 4/11. Question number 4. The floor area of the bedroom of a house is 2/3 the floor area of the sitting room. What is the ratio of the floor area of the bedroom to that of the sitting room? So floor area bedroom and sitting room. So it's given 2/3 the area of the sitting room is the bedroom. If this is 3, this becomes 2. Second part, what fraction of the total floor area of the bedroom and sitting room is the floor area of the sitting room? So what's the total parts? 5. So 2/5 for bedroom, 3/5 for sitting room. So those are the two fractions. And third one, what fraction of the total floor area of the bedroom and sitting room is the difference between the floor areas of these two rooms? So what's the difference? This is 3/5, 2/5. So difference is 1/5. 3/5 minus 2/5. So you get 1/5 is the difference between the floor areas of these two rooms. Example number 1. Siripala started a business in January by investing 30,000 rupees. His friend Hussein joins the business 2 months after by investing 24,000 rupees, and his friend Nadaraja joins the business 2 months after that by investing 60,000 rupees. Calculate the ratio in which the profit should be divided between them at the end of a year. So who are the three people? Siripala and Hussein and Nadaraja. So the amount invested 30,000 from Siripala and 24,000 from Hussein and Nadaraja 60,000. Now we'll consider time. January invested Siripala, so that means 12 months. His friend Hussein joins the business 2 months later. So 12 minus 2, that means 10 months for Hussein. Then, and his friend Nadaraja joins the business 2 months after that. So that means 2 months after Hussein. That's now 8 months. Now we'll see what's the ratio. You can divide by 10,000. So that's 12 times 3. Divide by 10,000. This is 24. And divide by 10,000, you get 6 times 8, 48. Divide the whole thing by 12. You get 3, 2 and 4. 12 times 4, 48. So 3 to 2 to 4 is the ratio. Exercise 16.2. The manner in which two people invested money in a joint venture during the same year is shown in the table given below. This is Sujit and Vijit invested amount, date of investment, period of investment and amount into period. Fill in the blanks in the above table. So what's the period of investment? So January 1st started. So you can write this is 12 months. Amount into period. Amount is 18,000 into 12. Now here, April started. How many months? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 9 months. So what's the amount into period? 20,000 into 9. Find the ratio in which the profit should be divided between Sujit and Vijit after a year. So what's the ratio? So you have to think about amount invested and the period. So what's the ratio? You can do the ratio between Sujit and Vijit. This is 18,000 into 12. And this one 20,000 into 9. Divide by 1,000. You get 18 here and 12. Divide by 1,000. You get 20 and 9. Now you can divide by 9. You get 2 here. 2 times 12, 24. 9. So you get 20. Now you can divide by 4. So 6 to 4 times 6, 24. 4 times 5. So what's the ratio? The profit should be divided 6 to 5 ratio between Sujit and Vijit. Question number 2. Kanti invested 10,000 rupees and started a dressmaking business on January 1st of a certain year. 2 months later, Nalini joined the business by investing 12,000 rupees. Calculate the ratio in which the profit should be divided between them at the end of the year. So what's the invested amount? Kanti and who's the other? Nalini. Kanti invested 10,000 and Nalini invested 12,000. So Kanti started the business on January 1st, so 12 months. Nalini 2 months later, that means for 10 months. Now simplify and get the ratio. Divide this by 10,000, you get 12 here. Divide this by 10,000, you get 12. So 1-to-1 ratio. And the second part, it says, if the profit for the year was 25,000, find the amount received by each of them. So this is 50-50. So half of that. So 12,500 for Kanti and 12,500 for Nalini. So you can do profit for Kanti, profit for Kanti is half of 25,000. ₹12,500. And profit for Nalini is also 12,500. Question number 3. Kamal and Sunil started a business on the 1st of January of a certain year by investing 24,000 and 30,000 respectively. After 4 months, Vimal joined the business by investing 54,000 rupees. The profit from the business for the year was 180,000 rupees. Find the ratio in which the profit should be divided between Kamal, Sunil and Vimal. Kamal, Sunil and Vimal. So what's the invested amount? 24,000. That's Kamal. Sunil invested 24. That's 30,000. And Vimal invested 54,000 rupees. Now look at the time period. 1st January started. That means 12 months for Kamal. So that Sunil also started on 1st of January. That means 12 months. Then Vimal joined after 4 months. So subtract 4 from 12. You get 8. 8 months. Now simplify. Divide by 1000. 24 and 12. Divide by 1000. 30 and 12. Divide by 1000. 54 and 8. You can divide this by 4. Divide this by 4. You get 6 into 12. 3 into 30. And divide by 4, you get 54 into 2. Divide by 3 again. Now divide by 6. That's the ratio 4:5:6. That's the simplest form. That's the ratio. And what's the amount received by each of them? So you need to find out the total profit was 180,000 rupees. So as a fraction, you can do it here. 4 over, what's the total number of parts? 15 as a fraction. That into 180,000 rupees. For Sunil, 5 over 15 into 180,000 rupees. And for Vimal, this is 6 over 15 into 180,000 rupees. Now simplify. You can divide by 5. You can divide by 5. ₹36,000. Now, this one you can divide by 3 again. So you get 12,000. So 12,000 into 4. This one 12,000 into 5. And this value is 12,000 into 6. So what's the amount? 48,000 rupees for Kamal, and this one 60,000 for Sunil and 72,000 for Vimal. So when you add these three, you need to get 180,000. So check it. 8 plus 2, 10. 1 remaining. 14 plus 4, 18. So that's correct. Question number 4. Chamara started a spice business by investing 8,000 on the 1st of February. Kumara joined the business by investing 11,000 on the 1st of June of that year. The profit from the business on December 31st was 45,000 rupees. Calculate the ratio in which the profit should be divided between them. So this is Chamara and what's the other one? Kumara. So February started, 1st of February. So you can use the time as 11 months. That's 8,000. Then Kumara invested 11,000 on the 1st of June. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that's 7 months. Now, what's the ratio? You can divide by 1,000. That's 8 times 11. Divide by 1,000, 11 times 7. Divide by 11, you get 8 to 7 ratio. Find separately the amounts received by Chamara and Kumara. So, profit for Chamara. Profit for Chamara, 8 parts out of 15. And what's the total profit? 45,000. So 15 times 3. So that's 3,000 into 8. 24,000 rupees. That's profit for Chamara. So what's the profit for Kumara? 7 out of 15 into 45,000 rupees. That's 3,000 into 7. 21,000 rupees. Example number 1. When preparing a sweetmeat, flour and sugar are mixed in the ratio 4:3. And sugar and coconut are mixed in the ratio 5:3. Find the ratio of flour to sugar to coconut in the sweetmeat. So what's the ratio you need? Flour to sugar to coconut. What's the first ratio? Flour to sugar. That's 4:3. Then sugar and coconut 5:3. So you need to find out the lowest common multiple of 3 and 5. That's 15. How you get 15 from 3? Multiply by 5. So you do the same thing. Multiply by 5, you get 20 here. This one, you need 5 to 15. Multiply by 3. So 3 times 3, 9. So the ratio flour to sugar to coconut is 20 to 15 to 9. Example number 2. A certain amount of money was divided among A, B and C. The ratio in which was divided between A to B is 3:4. And between B and C, that's 2 to 5. Find the ratio in which the money was divided among A, B, C. So what's the lowest common multiple of 4 and 2? That's 4. So nothing happens here. So you write the same thing. 2 to 4, that means multiply by 2. 2 times 5, that's 10. So the ratio between A to B to C is 3 to 4 to 10. Exercise 16.3. A fertilizer is produced by combining nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. The ratio of nitrogen to phosphorus is 5 to 3. I'll put nitrogen in, phosphorus pH and potassium PO. So what's the ratio? Nitrogen to phosphorus? 5 to 3. The ratio of phosphorus to potassium? 6 to 1. Find the ratio of nitrogen to phosphorus to potassium. So you need to find out the lowest common multiple of 3 and 6. That's 6. So this is 6 means this value is the same. Here 3 to 6. You multiply this by 2. 5 times 2. That's 10. So the ratio between nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium is 10 to 6 to 1. Question number 2. Coconut oil, sesame oil and margosa oil are combined together to make medicinal oil. Coconut oil and sesame oil are combined in the ratio 5 to 2. So coconut oil to sesame oil. What's the ratio? 5 to 2. And sesame oil and margosa oil are combined in the ratio 3 to 1. So that's 3 to 1. Now you are asked to find out the combined ratio between coconut oil, sesame oil and margosa oil. So that's the combined one. We need to find the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3. That's 6. How you get 6 from 2? Multiply by 3. 3 times 5, 15. 3 to 6. Multiply by 2. 1 times 2, you get 2. So what's the combined ratio? 15 to 6 to 2. Question number 3. In a certain farm, there are cattle, goats and hens. The ratio of cattle to goats is 4 to 3. Cattle to goats. 4 to 3. And the ratio of cattle to hens now. Cattle to hens is 2 to 7. This ratio is given. First part, find the ratio of cattle to goats to hens. That means combined ratio. Now, this one you have to find the lowest common multiple. That's 4. 4 here, so we are not changing this. That's 3. 2 becomes 4 by multiplying this by 2. So you'd have to do the same thing. 2 times 7, that's 14. So what's the combined ratio? 4 to 3 to 14. And the second part, it says, if there are 105 animals of these 3 types in the farm, find separately the number of cattle, goats and hens. So how you find out the combined one? Now as a fraction, this is 4 out of how many total parts? 21. This one, 3 over 21. This one, 14 over 21. Altogether, there are 105 animals. So multiply this by 105. So how many cattle? So you need to multiply by 5 here. You get 5. 5 times 4, 20. 5 times 3, 15. And 5 times 14. 70. So number of cattle 20, number of goats. I'll write down number of cattle 20. Number of goats 15. And number of hens 70. Question number 4. In a certain village, Sinhalese, Tamils and Muslims live together. The ratio of Sinhala families to Tamil families 5:3. Sinhalese, Tamil and Muslim. This ratio is 5:3. And the ratio of Tamil families to Muslim 4:1. And you asked to find out the combined ratio. So to find out that, you need the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4, that's 12. How you get 12 from 3? Multiply by 4. 4 times 5, 20. This one, multiply by 3. 3 times 1, 3. So the ratio is 22, 12 to 3. So second part, it says how many families are there in the village if there are 60 Sinhalese families. So this represents 60. So we can find out. So what's the total number of parts? 20 plus 12, 32. 32 plus 3, 35 altogether as a fraction. This is 20 over 35. This means how many Sinhalese are there? It says 60. So how you find out total number of families? Total number of families. Total number of families, this is for one part, you have to divide by 20, and for total number you have to multiply by 35. You get 3 times 35. You get 105. So altogether 105 families are there. Question number 5. Piyadasa, Swaminathan and Nazir are 3 friends who set up a joint venture. They shared the profit of their business as follows. Between Piyadasa and Nazir. Piyadasa and Nazir, 5:6 ratio. And between Swaminathan and Nazir, in the ratio 4:5. Find the ratio in which the profit was shared between Piyadasa and Swaminathan. Piyadasa and Swaminathan. So that means you have to find out the combined ratio. 6 and 5, what's the lowest common multiple? That's 30. So 6 times 5, 30. So 5 times 5, 25. This one, 5 times 6 is 30. So 6 times 4, 24. So the combined ratio is 25 to 30 to 24. So what's the ratio in which the profit was shared between Piyadasa and Swaminathan? So Piyadasa and Swaminathan, that's 25 to 24. Then if Piyadasa received 20,000 as profit, calculate how much Swaminathan and Nazir received. So you have to find out separately the total profit was 20,000. So how many parts are there? When you add it, you get 9 here, and 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 3, 7, 79 altogether. So out of 79, here this is not the total profit. 20,000 means Piyadasa received. Which one is Piyadasa? 25. So as a fraction, 25 over 79. So this means 20,000 rupees. Now they ask separately how much Swaminathan and Nazir received. So you have to first find for one part. That means divide this by 25. So 25 times 8, 200. So 800 for one part. So what's the amount that Swaminathan received? So Swaminathan $800 times how many parts? 24 parts. Multiply by 8 first. 8 times 4, 32. 3 remaining. 8 times 2, 16 plus 3, 19 and 2 zeros. 19,200. And what's the amount Nazir received? Nazir is 800 into how many parts? 30 parts. Multiply by 30. You get 3 zeros. 8 times 3, 24. So 24,000 rupees. Miscellaneous exercise. Question number 1. Ruwani started a sweet meat business by investing 5,000 rupees at the beginning of a certain year. At the beginning of March of the same year, her neighbors Fatima and Sarada joined the business by investing 7,000 and 5,000 rupees respectively. At the end of the year, the profit from the business was 54,000 rupees. Calculate the amount received by each of them if the profit was divided among them based on their investment and the period of investment. So here you need to find out the amount invested as well as the time. So Ruwani, Fatima and Sarada. Ruwani invested 5,000 rupees beginning of the year. That's 12 months. Fatima, beginning of March. So from March, how many months? So that's January, February, not included. So you have to subtract 2. So that 10. 10 months, 7,000 rupees for 10 months. Sarada, 5,000 rupees. How many months? Her neighbors, Fatima and Sahil, joined the business by investing this and this. Same date, March. So that means 10 months. So when you simplify this, what's the ratio? Combined ratio. Divide by 1000. 5 times 12. Divide by 1000. 7 times 10. And 5 times 10. You can divide this by 2. So 5 times 6. 7 times 5. And 5 times 5. So 30, 35 and 25. You can divide by 5. 6, 7 and 5. So that's the combined ratio, and you are asked to find out. Calculate the amount received by each of them of the profit was divided among them based on their investment and the period of investment. So what's the total profit? 54,000 rupees. So we'll divide 54,000 rupees to the ratio 6 to 7 to 5. 6 to 7 to 5 ratio. What's the total number of parts? 6 plus 7, 13. 13 plus 5, 18. So as a fraction, 6 over 18. 7 over 18 and 5 over 18. So the total profit, 54,000. So what's the value? Simplify. Divide by 6 first. So 6 times 3, 6 times 9. And divide by 3 again. So you get 3,000 here. So all these you get 3,000 here. Now multiply by 6 here. You get 18,000. 3,000 into 7, 21,000. And 3,000 into 5, 15,000. So what's the profit that Ruani received? Profit of Ruani, that's 18,000 rupees. Profit of Fatima, that's 21,000 rupees. And profit of Sarada is equal to 15,000 rupees. So when you add the 3, you need to get 54. Just check it. 9, 9 plus 4, 14, 1 remaining, 2, 3, 4, 5, 54,000. So that's correct. So we completed all theory related to ratios. When sharing a profits of joint venture, the investment amount and the period of investment both taken into consideration. When calculating the ratio in which profits should be shared in a joint venture, the invested amount is multiplied by the period of investment. When the relationship between 3 quantities is given by 2 ratios obtained, the continued ratio of the 3 quantities by considering equivalent ratios. So practice all exercise and examples and thorough with ratios.